In top stories tonight, the College of Communication had a big announcement today. Dean Lori Bergen sent an email to students telling them about an $8.3 million donation to the college this afternoon. This money will be used to fund the new Perry and Alicia O'Brien Fellowship in Public Service Journalism, giving the College of Communication the resources to bring professional journalists to the college and create a partnership between Marquette and the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Our very own Max Hess has an exclusive interview with the dean at the end of our newscast.
Tuition runs out tomorrow? Well, not exactly, but tomorrow marks the day in which tuition stops paying for your education and donations kick in. Tomorrow at the AMU between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., students are encouraged to stop by and take part in the second annual Marquette Tuition Runs Out Day. Students not only can learn more about the day, but may also sign a thank you card for a donor. With free food, there's no excuse not to go and show appreciation to thousands of alumni, parents, faculty, staff, and friends who generously support Marquette each year.
The deadline for FAFSA is coming up. Students must submit their FAFSA forms by February 15th to ensure that they arrive to Marquette by March 1st deadline. If you fail to meet the March 1st deadline, financial aid may be reduced or even eliminated. Students and parents make sure to acquire your federal PIN, which can be requested online. This PIN is crucial as it is used electronically to sign the FAFSA. If you have any questions, please contact Marquette Central.
Derek Williams' family and friends testified today regarding the final hours of his life. They described Williams as super hyper, as if he was on ecstasy. Toxicology reports found marijuana but no other drugs. Williams died in police custody after being arrested for allegedly trying to rob a white couple. The court is now trying to decide if Williams' death can truly be considered a homicide.
And MUSG has a treat for us. The Night of Chocolate event will be on Thursday, February 14th at 8:30 in the AMU Monahan Room. This semi-formal Brazilian carnival-themed event will feature dark, milk, and white chocolate along with fruit, pretzels, crackers, marshmallows, and more to dip in a white chocolate fountain. Tickets are available in the AMU Brooks Lounge for $5 with your Marquette ID.
This Sunday at the Marquette women's basketball game against Notre Dame will feature the Play for K Pink Out event. Before the game takes place, there will be an interactive health fair at 12:30 p.m. The fair will highlight displays, festivities, and promotional items that the participants can use to stay healthy. The displays can also be found online. In addition to this event, the Center for Health Education and Promotion is holding its 5th annual bra drive. The drive is now taking place through February 17th. You can find the collection bins throughout campus. The bins are to collect bras that are new or in good condition for the Sexual Assault Treatment Center of Greater Milwaukee. When we return, find out more about a plane crash.
And we'll also be giving you some last night's State of the Union speech. All that and more when we come back.
Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
And welcome back to MUTV News. On Tuesday night, President Barack Obama addressed the nation and focused on economic efficiency and Medicare reform. And at least 4 people died today in a plane crash in Ukraine. And emergency officials said there were 45 people on board when the plane crashed in the Donetsk region. The flight was carrying soccer fans from Odessa headed to a UEFA Champions League game. 39 people were evacuated before the airline caught fire, and 2 people are still accounted for.
The spotless glory of Alabama's national football title didn't hold long. University officials say that some of the team members have been arrested in connection to recent campus robberies. DJ Petway, Tyler Hayes, and Brent Calloway are the 3 players arrested. They all appeared in games regularly last season. According to the police reports, the athletes punched and kicked another student until he was unconscious last Monday night, and a backpack with valuables was stolen. The athletes later robbed another student. All 3 have been charged with robbery. According to an issued court document, State Supreme Court Justice Ann Walsh Bradley received stepped-up security from law enforcement more than 2 months before David Prosser put his hands around her neck in a dispute over a controversial case. That disclosure came in a decision Bradley released recusing herself from the ethics case against Prosser over the June 2011 altercation. Bradley wrote in the filing that she and Chief Justice Shirley Abrahamson to this day lock themselves in their offices when working after hours because of concerns about Prosser's behavior.
Students walking by the Church of Jesu this evening may have noticed something a little bit unusual. Protesters lined up alongside the building holding up signs and pleads against Marquette's ROTC program. Protesters argued that ROTC program was teaching students how to kill and that there was completely against the Catholic belief. Our very own Max Hess was at the scene. A story and images can be found on our Facebook page.
The police may not be who you think they are, at least in a case at the Superior Police Department. Last month, a man reportedly called 911 and claimed he had been approached by an officer and asked to provide vehicle registration and proof of insurance. The police quickly determined that no such offer was in the area and classified the case as someone impersonating an officer. However, today, police verified via video that no traffic stop ever occurred. In Wisconsin, it is a crime to provide false information to the police, and the case is being sent to the Douglas County District Attorney's Office. Now we turn to Max Hess with the weather. Max, it's hot out there. What's up with that?
Hi, I'm Max Hess with your weekly weather update. I'm going to give you your weather tonight. Looking at a temperature right now of about 32 degrees with a wind chill of 29. Humidity is at about 72% and a barometer of 22.72. And your winds west at about 7 miles per hour, so not too windy. That's probably why it wasn't that cold today. Looking at our almanac today, the high was at about 40, so we're definitely seeing a rise in temperatures and a trend. Low of 21, our average at 25, so we're definitely over the average, and our average low at about 19 degrees. Moving on, our records in 1905 were 58 as a high and 15 below in 1882 as a low. So definitely some big fluctuations there. Sunrise today, 6:50 a.m., and our sunset was at 5:21. Moving on throughout the nation, looking up at the northeast corner, we see 43 degrees, then also more local in Chicago, 39, a little more north in Minneapolis, 37. Looking at the coast over here, 49, and then finally California at about 52. So we definitely see some pretty even temperatures around the country. In the state, Eau Claire at 34, Green Bay at 32, Green Bay at 32, Wausau at 32, Madison at 35, and Milwaukee at 32. So pretty evening temperatures or equal temperatures around the state. Moving on tonight, a little bit of snow showers, 31 degrees, winds southwest at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning for those 9 a.m. classes, you may want to pack up and bundle up a little bit because it is going to be 36 and snow on the ground. Winds from the west at 20 miles per hour. And then for our 5-day forecast, I'm going to step back a little bit for you there. Thursday, 36 degrees, snow and low of 31. Friday, 21 degrees, mostly cloudy, and a low of 12. Saturday, it's going to get a lot colder, 19 degrees. And a low of 14, partly cloudy there. Sunday, warming up a little bit, 30 and a low of 26. And then finally on Monday, it will warm up even more, closer to what it was today, 38 degrees, cloudy, and a low of 21. And when we return to MUTV News, we'll tell you everything about a Milwaukee mom who allegedly dropped her baby. Stay tuned.
Live from Marquette, this is your campus news source, MUTV News.
Welcome back to MUTV News. Dining halls across campus are celebrating Black History Month by offering Caribbean, Southern, and Creole dishes all month long. The participating halls are Cobean, McCormick, and Straz Tower. Dining services will also pay tribute to prominent African-American entrepreneurs, inventors, scientists, and soldiers by highlighting their achievements in online Facebook posts. For more information, contact Krista Burns, the marketing manager of University Dining.
A Milwaukee mother was arrested yesterday upon throwing her 1-year-old child onto cement stairs near 24th in Michigan. She then proceeded to locate a nearby officer and say that she no longer wanted the child. A neighbor claimed that the woman had been experiencing mental health issues and previously lost custody of at least one of her children in the past. The baby did have some trauma to his face, but thankfully did not suffer any life-threatening injuries.
The Milwaukee area is taking a unique approach to celebrate Valentine's Day this year. Members of the United of Greater Milwaukee have collaborated with Serve Marketing to serve the Baby You're the One campaign. This campaign is designed to prevent teen pregnancy on the day of the year most associated with love. The team believes that teenagers may get too caught up in the festivities and need a reminder of the possible result. They began the campaign earlier this week with the bus shelter ads and radio programs. They also plan to hand out Valentines in schools tomorrow.
And the Milwaukee County Zoo has recently announced the arrival of 2 of its newest members. The birth of the jaguar cubs is one for the record books. They are the first to be displayed in the zoo since 1975 and are an important link to the conservation of the species. The sex of the cubs will remain unknown until 6 weeks of age, but they are certainly ready to play. They can already be seen nursing, sleeping, hissing, and scratching by the public.
Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and so I went out with fellow reporter Natasha Mraz to find out what people around campus will be doing to celebrate. What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Probably just hanging out with my girlfriend and going to lunch or dinner or something.
Did you buy her something nice?
I did, yeah.
What'd you buy her?
A pair of mittens.
Aw, that's so cute. Well, I hope you have a lovely Valentine's Day.
So Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What will you be doing for Valentine's Day?
Well, I have plans with my friends. We're all going out for a movie, and we're going out to eat.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Oh my God, that's
Valentine's Day, I'm probably going to go to the movies, most likely.
Are you going with anyone special?
Oh my God, that's a grilled cheese man.
No, not in particular.
What does he say he's doing?
A couple candidates, I should say. Not trying to be a player or nothing, but...
Do you want to be my Valentine?
Definitely.
Thank you.
You're no problem.
So as you guys know, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What are you guys going to do for Valentine's Day?
I'm going to study a lot because I'm single.
How about you?
Well, I have to work the night of chocolate, so hopefully I'll get some free chocolate out of that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. What are you doing for Valentine's Day? I don't know yet. How about you?
I think we're going to Buca,
Yeah,
right?
we're going on a date.
It's like a great. We've been dating for 3 years now, so like it's a. Actually, wait, I asked you out on Valentine's Day 3 years ago.
Yeah, you did. It's our anniversary.
Awesome.
Welcome back. Up next, we've got Michael Biermeister with your most important sports news.
Welcome back to MUTV News. I'm Michael Biermeister with all your important sports news. We're switching it up this time. Instead of your traditional basketball and football highlights, we are bringing you soccer. Yes, soccer from the Champions League quarterfinals. One draw. And that's all the time we have for sports, and now we will toss it to News Director Max Hess for an exclusive interview with the Dean of the College of Communications, Lori Berggren. Hi, and welcome back to MUTV News. I'm now joined by Dean Lori Berggren, who's the Dean of the College of Communication. And there was some big news in the College of Communication Day, correct?
That's right. We were able to announce the establishment of the Perry and Alicia O'Brien Fellowships in Public Service Journalism, which will start in the fall of 2013 in the Deidre College of Communication.
And what exactly does that entail? Now, I know it does entail a lot of money.
Well, the gift that came from Peter and Patricia Frechette of Minneapolis was for $8.3 million, which will allow us to establish an endowment that will perpetually support the project to bring 3 professional journalists to our campus every year for the academic year to work on a public service journalism project, which means that they will essentially be here to do and create amazing reporting, investigative projects that will look for solutions to some of the world's great social problems. And they'll partner with our students and our faculty in some creative ways, giving us a chance to really engage our students in the creation of important news content, working in what I would call the teaching hospital model of creating journalism in a university setting.
So this is definitely a huge step for the College of Communication.
Well, you know, it's a step that's just sort of the next logical step, along with several of the other things that we do in the college. I mean, obviously, one of the most important things for students who are learning how to be professional journalists is to do professional work. We're an example of it right here. You're a student, you're creating great reporting and news content as we speak. But at the same time, I think this is a direction that all forward-looking journalism programs and communication programs across the country have to think about. How do we make our teaching relevant, and how can we do something that isn't done by every organization, which is to give something back to the community? And our community contributions through this project is to empower professional journalists to do the kind of reporting that matters in communities, that can solve problems, that can save lives, that can lead to new ways of doing things and solving problems. So by supporting that kind of journalism, we became a partner with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, a Pulitzer Prize-winning news organization in our community, to work collaboratively with the support of some amazing people, the philanthropists, Peter and Pat Frechette, whose contribution to this, whose support for this makes it all possible.
So when exactly will this kind of happen? Is this something that will happen next school year, or is this something for the future? What's the time frame for all of this?
Well, it will happen every year, but we'll start in the fall of 2013. And our hope is that in subsequent years, there will always be a process for applications and review. This first year, we're selecting fellows in a somewhat more informal way. The 3 fellows for next year will be announced in May, and the project will begin in the fall. So our intent is to welcome the new fellows to our campus, to integrate them into the building. They'll have facilities in Johnston Hall where they will do their work. They'll work collaboratively with our students. And at the conclusion of their fellowship, which will end after an academic year, so that'll be like you all when you come to class in the fall and leave in the spring, they'll depart from us in May, but then we'll invite them back to participate in a conference in every subsequent year in October, so that they can present the results of their work, and we'll build a conference around whatever is the theme of the story that they focused on. So the idea is that this will be continuous. It will be something that in perpetuity provides support for this kind of development of the fellows. It's a professional development opportunity for nationally recognized journalists to take a sabbatical year away from their normal organization to work with our students, to work on a project that they could never have done otherwise because of the time and the resources to support it. And then we'll be able to celebrate that with the conference in the following October.
So this definitely sounds like it's a mutually beneficial thing, not just for students, but for those who are going to be part of the program as well.
Absolutely, and for the community. The reporting that will get done has the potential to change things. And we can't possibly know the exact stories that people will work on yet, but we do know that the broad question of how can journalism be in service to its community. What are the kinds of questions that we ask that we don't already know the answers to? And how can we find solutions and talk about those solutions so we can inspire people to solve their own problems? So that's really the focus. It's very consistent with Marquette's mission to be in service to other people. And the exciting part about collaborating with students is that our students will not only have the chance to work with the fellows while they're on our campus, but each one of the fellows will be involved in selecting one Marquette student to return to their home organization with a paid internship in the summer that follows the fellows fellowship while they're at Marquette.
Wow.
So this would mean, for example, if we invited a New York Times reporter to join us in the fall, one of our students would be selected to go back to the New York Times and do an internship, and they would have made a connection with someone who's an employee and a journalist there. So we just saw this as a way to make a very consistent and seamless connection between what goes on at Marquette in our journalism education program and how we can contribute in a substantial way to the work that journalists are doing nationally and internationally. So it's a very exciting, and I have to say that just the courage of the Frechettes to step forward and say, we see the vision of this, we understand. They really are committed to democracy, to an informed citizenry so that people can make good decisions about their own self-governance. And in many ways, as patriots, they see the value of journalism in a free society. And to be able to preserve that ability to report on stories that are truly challenging to us as we think about them, and learning about the investigating a question, but also when you think about it, what's required is some consistency of time to focus on that. The resources of an organization like Marquette like the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, to be able to have support for this, it's very rare in today's media world. So I think what we're doing is both creative as a journalism education opportunity, but it also will do a lot for our community and our citizens because it allows us to do a kind of journalism that's very hard to finance. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I know it's something that a lot of students in the College of Communication are excited about, and I know getting the email today as a College of Communication student, I was excited too. But thanks so much, Dr. Bergen, for coming in tonight. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's all we have tonight for MUTV News. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for our newscast next week on Monday. Good night, Marquette.